We're going to come for habit number two. Okay, so of the risk of losing all my followers, or lying to you, or lying to myself, I'm going to make this video. So here's your PSA before we go any further. This video. This video is not Trump friendly. Period. And I'm going to get some backlash for this. However, let me make this abundantly clear. This video will not give me any backlash from white people, because this video is not about white people. This video is about people of color that voted for Trump. And I'm going to drop my personal story in this video for like the 90th time whenever I make a Trump video. I throw my reasons for my strong dislike or my strong contempt or my all-out anger for this man. Now, you don't have to stay at my channel. I understand. I know that I only have 128 of you. I know that that number goes up and down, up and down. I know that I don't reply to comments all the time. There's a reason for that. I don't get many. The people who do comment generally are my friends and followers who come to me from TikTok and Instagram. I try my best to make an appointment to comment on because I love them and I know that they are loyal. They also know where I stand on issues of politics, which I normally don't give a flying fuck. As long as you vote, I don't really give a fuck. Who you vote for, though, tends to reflect on you just a little bit. And I will go into this before I go any further. I voted for Biden because he was the lesser of two evils. As I told you, my three choices were wiped out. Understand. Granted, Elizabeth Warren fought to the end. Pete Booty-Boo fought to the end. And Andrew Yang fought to the end. They fought to the end. Those were my three top choices. Biden was just a comeback kid. And in the end, I went with Biden because there was no way in hell I was going to let a racist run this country again. And if you watch any of my videos, you know I specifically do Kung Fu. But when I start talking about racism, Trump tends to be the target. This is, again, not hate speech. This is more check yourself speech. And so did the people at YouTube. They're going to scan this. So let me apologize to YouTube now. You're probably going to take this any way you want. And if you're not a Trump supporter, great. And if you are a Trump supporter, I'm sorry. Alright? But this video specifically is for people of color who supported Trump. And my only question to you is, WTF were you thinking? Or why in the blue hell were you following this guy? And by people of color, let me be specific. Asians that are of Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Laos, Malaysia, etc., Samoans, extent that voted for this asshole. Asians who are Native Americans that voted for this asshole. And black people. Now, before I begin, let me apologize to all of the people that I just named. If you fall into that category, let me apologize. I am not angry at anybody white that voted for Trump. Now, I know you guys are going to think, well, that's kind of hypocritical, James. It is and it is not. It's kind of a sorry, not sorry situation because, alright, it's the same thing that black people who voted for Obama. A lot of black people voted for Obama. A lot of white people voted for Obama. A lot of Asian people voted for Obama. I went into the military while Obama was in the final season of his second term. Now, I will be honest, no matter who's at the front of the head of the table, no matter who's running America, no one is truly looking out for vets. And I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say about that. If you're not a vet, then you don't know. But vets will tell you the same. It doesn't matter who the hell is the president. They aren't really doing shit for the vets. I get $260 a month. I got fucked up in the military, so I didn't get to serve the way I wanted to serve. And I can't hardly get arrested getting a job. And so YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, trying to forward my acting career in the 21 years I've been in this business, this is all I have. Because being in front of the camera is the only thing that makes me happy. Yes, I'm in college for police science and criminal justice. Have my criminal justice certificate. Trying to get these 4 classes out of the way so I can get my police science degree. But if you want the truth, I don't want to do that shit. I want to make Kung Fu movies. But I haven't been able to get chance 1. Alright? Now, before I go deeper into that, as I said, I gain people and I lose people on this channel. And 9 times out of 10, if I've lost you, it's probably because of something that I said about Trump. or maybe it's something I said that was racially offensive to you, and for that I am sorry, and that door is always open. The subscribe button is always there, and if you notice in all these videos, I have rarely told people to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm not really going to do that because once my career takes off, I probably won't be able to do these anymore. So I got to get it all in while I can. So I apologize when I feel that I've wronged people, which is why I'm apologizing at the beginning of this video right now. You do not have to accept my apology. All of my 128 followers can walk away today. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to still continue to make videos. I might cry a little bit, but it'll probably only be for a day. I'll still post videos. Somebody will like it, and I'll still post them on Instagram. And as long as I'm not sleeping with animals, I'm really not doing anything that bad. So anyway, before I go deep into that, this is just an apology for everyone that I'm going to offend in this video. This is an apology to YouTube, so that if they let this thing play and understand that this is fact speak, not hate speech, and I have proof from YouTube if you need it. You know, just certain things I'll tell you, just go Google it. YouTube will have a video of it, because they don't like Indians to me. It's a thing. So don't think that I'm bullshitting you, because that's my problem with Trump. He does not like Native Americans. He's literally lied in the face of Native Americans for Standing Rock. And now there's another pipeline going through Minnesota. And I'm pretty sure that no one's going to be able to go there and stop it, but it's Pipeline 3. So before you guys give me a hard time about that, this is why I'm making this video. Because a couple of natives, consciously or unconsciously, wasn't aware that Trump didn't like them. And they also voted for him. So I am engaging in this video to understand why people of color voted for this racist asshat. And I'm not so mad at you. I'm more or less trying to figure out why. I mean, I can't really be mad at you. You have the right to vote. Those dog tags that I wear, those dog tags that many people wear, for the people who are mad at Colin Kaepernick for taking a knee and all this other shit about anti-racism, you're taking a stand because it's something that you need to do. But when you are voting a racist in, and you think that everything that he has said on TV is cool, and you're not asking yourself or your moral compass what is wrong with me with that, then you got a problem. I'm sure you're going to ask me why I didn't vote for him. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to lay down my feelings, and you're either going to like them or you're not. And I'm not going to hate you one way or the other, and you can hate me all you want, because one-on-one through this TV screen, neither one of us can hurt anybody. And if you watch my other 4 videos, I don't take kindly to threats or keyboard warriors. And again, I don't have a problem with you Trump supporters. I have a problem with the why. Because I don't have the knowledge of why you followed him. I have no knowledge of that. So I can't hate you for voting, and I can't hate you for who you support. But I can ask why. Now, this would only really affect the only people that I would ask why is people of color. I understand how a lot of white people went behind and voted for Trump. I understand that. I'm not mad at them for that. Because here's the thing. He's a white man. They're white. It's going to happen. It's the same thing with every black person who voted for Obama. And here's the thing on that. I voted for Obama twice. Why? Because the first black president was Bill Clinton. But Obama is mixed. He's half black, half white. And he did help a little bit. Unfortunately, there was a downside. In the beginning of his first term, I lost my fucking job. My job that I worked for didn't even try to put me in another building. But that's something that is on me because I didn't take shit from anybody on that job. So if they could find a legal loophole to fire a guy who goes to work, come hell or high water, when I burnt up my face, they had to order me not to come back to work. I literally burnt off my face. And they said, no, you can't come back to work until you have a doctor's note clearing you because you're back there cleaning up chemicals. And I told them, I can't afford not to come to work. Because it didn't happen at work, so it's not workers' compensable. But yeah, that's me. When I burnt off my face between 06 and 07. And my arm and my face. I burnt that shit off. So yeah, I'm happy. If you think I'm ugly, I'm okay with that. Because I got this back. Look at how I looked before. Understand that burning off your face is not a fun thing. So don't play with the overflow plan of your car, folks, because this shit could happen to you. Got a little bit up my ear, got all of this. And if you look at this and this, I'm much better like this than I was like that, okay? So yeah. Now, we're gonna talk. And we're going to talk about why people of color, specifically blacks and Native Americans, and a couple of Asians, damn, voted for this racist. Now, if you don't like me calling Mr. Trump a racist, I will try to refrain from calling him that. But I ain't making you no damn promises. Let us begin with me. I did not vote for this man. And I'm going to tell you for the 90th time why I did not vote for this man. I'm going to start with the Native American side of me. See, back in 1993, Mr. Trump had a fight with somebody in California about Native American casinos because they were basically running his casinos into the ground. But Native Americans had gotten a law passed so that they could earn money because a lot of people can't afford to get off the reservation and go get jobs. So they decided, hey, let's have casinos. And I guess in about 30 of the 58 states or the 49 states or however many states we have now, decided, yeah, we should let Native Americans have these casinos because God knows we've broken every treaty we've ever had for them. The least we can do is let them make their own money, build casinos, not pay taxes on it, and let whatever revenue go from the casinos go to the tribe, which is why there are a lot of Native American casinos, probably more out west in the East Coast because I don't know but one around here, and I don't have money so I can't go to it. And I got broke the one time that I did go to a casino. I don't know if it was a Native American casino, but I know I went broke there. And then I got lucky and got $1 and played one more time and left with exactly what I came with. So I came there with $21. I left with $21. After I won my money back, I didn't play anymore at all. So it's like I'm done. Now I got my $21 back. As soon as I got home, I put it in the gas tank in my car when I had my yellow car, and that was it. Now, back in the 93 thing, there was a big discussion, and Donald Trump had to go to wherever court or downtown or whatever they did in California. Excuse me. And he was talking with some dude, and you can find this here on YouTube. If you Google Donald Trump and they don't look like Indians to me, one of these videos will show up. Well, he's at the casino, and he's talking to the white guy with glasses, and he says, so why do you think your casino should do this and they shouldn't have the casinos? And then he looked at the guy and he says, well, they don't like Indians to me. Like, you look at them and he said, and the guy told him, so if they don't pass the look test and they don't like Indians, they shouldn't have the casinos. Well, Indians come in many, many shapes and colors. Understand that shit. And that was kind of the whole concept. Right then and there, I started having a problem with Donald Trump. Fuck the fact that he's gone bankrupt like 9 times. That's probably a stretch. Maybe 4, maybe 5 times. Let's just say publicly, maybe 4 times. Because I only really know about 4 times that he has gone bankrupt. Because he was even bankrupt in when he was bankrupt. Vince McMahon even bailed him out when he was on live and he chose Bobby Lashley as his champion. And Vince wound up getting his head shaved off or some crap like that because Bobby Lashley beat whoever or whatever. It's a long time ago. But anyway, that being said, that was one of the things that pretty much set the stage for me to not like Donald Trump. As you can see, I am part Native, and it started in right there. As time had went on, there was a Central Park 5. And don't worry, I'm going to bring this right back around to the Native Americans. And there's been documentaries of the Central Park 5, and one white guy asked him literally, he said, do you think you should apologize to the Central Park 5 for wishing them to be executed for a rape that they did not commit? And Trump did not respond with a, yes, I should apologize. He pretty much washed that shit off like it wasn't nothing. And then let's talk about the racist rhetoric that he puts on other people of color, such as Asians, and Asians actually. Now, how many times did he call Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas during his entire fucking damn administration? He was forever calling her Pocahontas. So, as a person who's part Native, whose grandmother is actually nicknamed Pocahontas, her real name is Marie, but we've called her Pocahontas all of my existence. You know, that's kind of offensive. It's the same way as the white guy that kept calling me Chief when I was in high school and working at Kegler's, and all he could do is call me Chief. Got a name tame on, it's bright as day, he would not call me by my name. He would just keep calling me Chief. So again, if I am offending you, this is the time for you to leave this video because it's only going to get worse from here. It's only going to get worse from here. Now, flashing back to the Central Park Five, when they were proven innocent, you know, as when he was back when that was going on, he was like, oh, they should be hung. They should reinstate the death penalty and kill all 5 of those black kids and stuff. Now, he did not use a racial slur to my knowledge. If you find a video of him calling him a racial slur, that will give me one more excuse to not like this dude. However, I'm not saying that he called them a racial slur, because as far as I know, he didn't. But I will say that he might as well have, because he didn't care. And then you have more recent with Omarosa's book when she got fired. You know, now on TV he played it a good role. You know, nobody knew it was racist because he gave Omarosa a job. Nobody knew it was racist because he liked Kwame. But Kwame is actually an African versus Omarosa, who is actually black. A lot of people don't understand that, and I will make a video specifically doing that sometime after this, if I remember that I said that. So, now it's my turn to ask the natives and the Asians and the blacks, why did you follow this guy? I gave you my reasons on why I can't stand him. Central Park 5, they don't like Indians to me. Do I need to give you another one? I will give you another one. How about this? Kung Flu, the Chinese virus. Why don't you ask China? So if you guys are okay with him saying that to your fellow Asians or your fellow black people, him wishing innocent black people were dead, who were kids, who were coerced into confessing that they raped a woman when they didn't. The brothers probably went to prison virgins. They probably never had sex before a day in their life, and they're sitting in prison trying to not give up sex because they were fucking kids put in an adult prison. But he didn't weigh in on the fact that they were 15 years old and were charged with an adult crime. But that doesn't matter because that was New York and they didn't give a damn. There were just 5 other black kids that no one really wanted to give a flying fuck about. And their parents were poor and they couldn't find good lawyers and no one was there. And the cops were questioning them without fucking parental consent and all kinds of other shit. Those cops didn't pay for their crimes against these kids. And yeah, eventually they did get a good payout. That's not the fucking point. The point is that Mr. Trump didn't apologize. Didn't give a damn that these kids were innocent and literally said that they should be hung and killed and the death penalty should come back. And yet, a fuck ton of black people went out and voted for this dude. And if you're mad at me and you're black and you're watching this, I don't give a damn. Because you went out and voted for this dude. No, you voted for this dude. Yeah, I voted for Hillary Clinton twice. And she lost. I'm not crying about it. But I don't understand why y'all voted for this dude who was undercover racist. And if you don't believe he's a racist, why don't you ask the Chinese reporter? He asked what was the plans, and he said, why don't you ask China? Her white friend, her ally, gave up her spot. And what did he do? Oh, I guess he wanted to grab them by the pussy because you ladies didn't think that that was vulgar enough for y'all to vote for this bastard anyway. Well, we're going to vote for him even though he doesn't like women, and he likes to grab them by the pussy because he's rich and he's famous and he can do that. That's probably going to come back to bite me in the ass, so I apologize for talking about him saying that he's going to grab people by the vaginas. Alright? So, therefore. But he said it. You can find it on video. Billy Bush. Billy Bush lost his job because of this dude and that hot mic. I'm rich, I'm famous, I can grab women by the pussy. Or, my favorite, I can shoot somebody on 5th Avenue and no one would give a damn. Well, I think his words were, I could shoot and kill someone on 5th Avenue and no one would give a damn and I can get away with it. You see where I'm going here. This is not going to be a white supremacy video. Just to make sure you understand where I'm going here. But he has said those things. And he has been in a fight with casino people in 1993 because they don't look like Indians to me. So while you're judging this video and thinking, you know, James, you're a dick because you don't like Trump. That's your opinion. Thank you. Now, it only got worse from there because as soon as he said the Chinese flu or the coronavirus or Kung flu or Chinese virus, the rise of attacks on Asians went shoo and never stopped. and it's still happening today, even though we don't get to catch it. And then let's move on. All right. So you're Native American. You're also biologically Asian. There has been some Native Americans who have been beaten because some racists thought that they were Chinese, even though they were Native American, because Native Americans are biologically Asian. But some racist asshole decided to attack an old lady and her son, mostly the old lady, at a fucking bus stop because she looked Asian. And they thought she was Chinese. He wasn't even dressed like a Chinese person. And I mean that like in traditional Chinese garb. But a lot of Asians, a lot of you, and sadly, I'm sorry, I'm going to piss you off, a lot of you, Trump 2020, y'all doing all that damn shit, and he's like turning the fucking knife. Because there are a lot of racist people. Understand that. There's a lot of racist people that have attacked Asians, and those racist people have been black and white. And all of this only got worse with the coronavirus and him turning it into the Kung Flu or the Chinese virus. Yeah, we got it. It originated in Wuhan, China. We got it. But now you've put your fellow Chinese Americans in danger by calling it the Chinese virus instead of calling it COVID-19. A similar thing happened when the SARS happened, as Margaret Cho says, and I quote, severe Asian racist syndrome, that flu. And that came from an Asian person who went from China to Canada to America, and next thing you know, everybody caught it. All right? And even then, it did not have a racist backwash or outblast or whatever. But you get Trump in there, Kung Flu, the Chinese virus, the Corona Chong virus, and other miscreated shit that was going around. And he was fucking still okay with that. And if you voted for him and you were Asian, you were feeding the fuel for your fellow Asians to get beat. So how long do you think it was going to be before he turned that shit around and said, oh, well, now we got the Filipino virus or the Japanese virus or the Korean virus? How long do y'all think it was going to happen before he singled out every other Asian country outside of China? How long do y'all think it was going to take? And it ain't but one word that can piss off black people, but Trump's not dumb enough to use that N-word, not on TV, not in public, because that would definitely solidify the fact that he is a goddamn racist. And here we go. So now I just pissed off black people. So now, how do you black people feel about him first causing all these problems for Asian people? Because there are a lot of Asian people who are not Chinese that have gotten their asses beat because some racist motherfucker thought that they were Chinese, like the Filipino guy that got cut across the face. But I'm sure you guys aren't thinking about that shit, are you? And again, the Native American woman who got beat up, and the old Asian people who got beat up. And it seems that old Asian people that were getting killed by some black people, by some white people who were also fucking racist, who also probably support the same guy that you guys have supported. So again, I do not blame you for voting for him. My question is why? I'm giving you all the reasons why I will never support this racist bastard. I didn't want Biden in. I'll be honest. I did not want to vote for Biden. Elizabeth Warren, because even though she only has 4% Native American DNA, it would have made history. And a better vote than that, Andrew Yang. We'd have had the first Chinese American president. And maybe he could also tell China to go stick it when they start doing shit. He's like, hey, I speak their language. I can talk to them. And either we're going to communicate or we're not. And if we're not going to communicate, I'm just going to have to go American on their ass and let them know, hey, that's not what we're about, And just think about having a Chinese American president. And that shit would have been cool. It would have been history in the fucking making. And now my third choice, PDP. Think about having an openly gay president. History. Him, a woman, or the Chinese man making presidency. Oh my God, the history that would be made right now. And unfortunately, they got beat out by Biden. So I voted for Biden. That's it. I have no ill will towards Biden. I just don't like Trump. I'll fucking throw myself in front of a lava pit before I vote for Trump. Yeah, if the Lord and the devil decided, are you going to side with Trump or are you going to jump into this lava pit? If you vote for Trump, you get to live. If you vote against Trump, you get to die. Well, being that no one knows what my race is, I'm going to go ahead and take death. Because I'm waiting for the day that somebody comes to me and say, "Oh, Filipino, we voted for Trump. We're gonna fuck your shit up." And a lot of Asians that voted for Trump were Filipino. So if I piss you off, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. There's a lot of people that come across my TikTok and my Instagram that were Filipino because I have a lot of Filipino friends. And if you follow me, I follow you. And if you're Filipino, you know I'm right behind you. And a lot of them are Trump 2020. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stop being your friend because you're a Trump follower. Just like if you want to stop following me here because I'm not a Trump follower, why would I be mad about it? You have that right to do so. Those dog tags that's hanging off of Miguel O'Hara right there that I put on, that every soldier put on, fought for your right to vote for whatever racist ass hat you wanted to vote for. And again, my question is, why? Why would you vote for this person? No. I understand if it's about your wallet. I get that. But the second that he started calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, I got mad. When he did it in front of the Code Talkers, I got mad. The second that he told the girl, "Why don't you go ex-China?" I got mad. And everyone in the universe didn't seem to give a flying fuck. He did that shit on live fucking TV. Both times. We have a person who's been around for a long time in the White House too. We call her Pocahontas. And I was watching that live, and I swear to God, if I had money, I'd be buying a new TV. Because I almost threw my shoe into the TV. And I don't have money, so I couldn't buy a new TV if I wanted to. But I was so fucking hurt that he did that in front of these damn Navajo Code Talkers. And I'm like, okay, that's fucked up. One Navajo broke. He started giggling. He literally started giggling. Because a lot of white people don't understand the real Pocahontas versus the Disney version of Pocahontas. Alright? So that's kind of how that happened. And he also was well into his 60s or 70s. He's earned the right to laugh at anything he wants. He put his life on the line for all of us, soldiers and non-soldiers alike. So he had the right to laugh when Trump said, "We had a person who's been in the White House for a very long time. You're very special people, and her name is Pocahontas." He's earned his right to laugh at whatever the fuck he wants. And you know, when you get to a certain age of elderliness, you reach fuck it, or you reach I no longer give a fuck. And I believe that Native American did that. The other two Native Americans were pissed. You could look in their eyes. They were pissed. And then he speeded up that little fucking medal ceremony real fucking fast. Alright? Let's take it back further than that. Where Obama had signature to protection of Standing Rock. His last day in office is, "As my final act as president, I'm going to protect the Standing Rock tribe. No pipeline." He signed it in. First day Trump gets in office, "As my first act as president of the United States, I'm going to push that pump line through Standing Rock." And I got so fucking hot right there. I was like, okay, I'm done with this dude, man. I'm done with this dude. This motherfucker hates Native Americans, and this is the part where I get mad, and this is the part where I tell you natives that voted for this fucker, were you not aware of Standing Rock? Because a white girl got me aware of Standing Rock. More white people that allied with natives stood up for natives than even famous natives. Even famous natives didn't even show up to Standing Rock. But the white girl from Divergent, who I follow, she got me up on Standing Rock. Now, I didn't go to Standing Rock because I have no money, and I was in class. I couldn't afford to leave class because I'm never going to get the degree if I'm not in class. And I knew that was selfish. But there was no famous Native American actors out there doing anything, at all. I even pitched about that when I said something in the comments on like Instagram when I first discovered it, because I didn't have TikTok at the time. Didn't know what the fuck TikTok was. But when Standing Rock was happening, I had my fucking Instagram and my Facebook, and I literally said, "Where are the famous Native American actors? You need to get your ass to Standing Rock, because you may be able to be the one to make the difference." No famous actors came there other than the one white girl who was an actress from Divergent. That was that. There were no natives. But yet there were still natives that supported Trump. Still natives that supported Trump. And you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm sorry if I pissed you off. And I say that to the same thing to the Asians that supported Trump. Because this guy didn't like you. And then if you think of what he done to Chinese Americans by calling the Kung Flu virus instead of calling it the COVID-19, he he just like fucking set native people, well, not natives, he set Chinese people up to get ass whoopings. In fact, he set Asians up to get ass whoopings. And there was an Asian woman who got set on fire by girls on the bus. There was an Asian woman who got beat up at the bus stop. The Olivia Munn's friend's mom got flung across the road. And I said, you know what? This is fucked up. But apparently, all you people who supported Trump, that includes Asians, Native Americans, and blacks, didn't seem to have a problem with this. Oh, I guess because you weren't Chinese, it didn't really affect you. That someone who didn't know that somebody was not Chinese just decided, oh, well, I'm going to cut this guy across the face. I'm going to set this old lady on fire. I'm going to chase this old Chinese lady with a can of fucking Lysol. Where were you guys? Oh, you were probably at those Trump rallies, right? Yeah. So if you were at the Trump rallies while people were getting their ass kicked because they are not Chinese, but they are Asian and racist motherfuckers can't tell the difference, this is your fault. You know? Think about that, especially if you're Asian or if you're Native and people of your ethnicity were getting fucked up because racist people can't tell the difference between Chinese, Japanese, and any other Asian race, but they were listening to this racist rhetoric of this ass fucker that you voted for, and next thing you know, what were you going to do when it happens to be somebody you give a fuck about? Because see, that's what it generally takes for people to wake the fuck up. Something has to happen bad to somebody that we know for us to make a difference, for us to start rallying together. Oh, my brother never did drugs, but he got shot because a cop decided that he was black and he didn't comply. You know, if someone like me gets shot, I promise you it's a complete setup. Because one, I obey the law. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink and drive. I don't do stupid shit. I don't own a gun. Period. I have a bow and arrow. I have martial art weapons. I am the last guy on the planet that you will catch with a gun if it's not a prop for a movie or a toy. I have no need for those motherfuckers. These guns right here, they are very proficient. They are very precise. And I love using them. These guns, these guns, these guns, and these guns. They work very fucking well. Understand that shit. Other this pew pew crap. I don't need that shit. You're a fucking coward. If you're not a police officer or a soldier, you don't need a fucking handgun or a rifle. But if that's your thing, hey, I'm not passing judgment. Knock yourself the fuck out. Because this isn't about that. This is about people of color who supported this racist motherfucker and are mad that he didn't win. So what are you going to do when the next Asian that gets attacked is your grandmother while you are videotaping yourself going Trump 2020? What are you going to do? Are you still going to be out there in 2024 when he does it again? And then something happens to somebody you give a flying fuck about because that's what it's going to take for you to not vote a racist then? Now, a lot of people are going to leave this channel after this video is posted. I'm expecting my numbers to drop exponentially. And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to cry about it. Okay, I'll probably cry for like a day. And then I'll realize, well, I did apologize before I started this video. And the thing is, you know, a lot of people are going to be like, well, James, we're going to make sure that you never work. Your acting career is never going to take off because you're not going to get the support from anybody. And that's fine. You know, I ain't working already. So, me not working, you know, I might not be working in the field that I would choose to work in, and you preventing me from being an actor, well, you're a little late to the game, because I'm 21 years into this business, and I'm not working, you know, so, you know, you're a little late to the game. And I will say this, good for you. But, people of color, you can come at me. It's fine. I'm not going to clap back. I just want to know why. I want to know why you think it's okay to make another person of a different race suffer because the person that you voted for is changing things and calling them out and getting them hurt, especially the senior citizens, getting them killed even, and you're turning the blind eye and you're still supporting this racist. So you can be mad at me, but you can go fact check me. This is my point of view. You can't change it. You haven't seen what I've seen, and if you have and you still agree with They don't like Indians to me. Why don't you ask China? Ah, this is the Kung Flu virus. And there's somebody from your family gets fucked up. Why don't we take it back to Charlottesville in 2017, where the racist people came through with the tiki torches, yelling about Jews not replacing them? Why don't we take it back to the next day, where one dude, Mr. Fields, decided to plow his Dodge Charger, or Dart, or whatever, through a crowd of black people because he was into white supremacy and he wanted to be a martyr for the cause. He's 20-something years old and just threw his whole entire fucking life away for racism. And our illustrious president says there's good people on both sides. Let me tell you something. There's no such thing as a good racist. Alright? There's a such thing as an honest racist, but there's no such thing as a good racist. And I am racist towards racist people. But again, I ask a simple question for people of color. Blacks, Asians, and Native Americans who are also Asian. Why did you support this guy? That's it. Why? Again, this channel may even get shut down for this video. But again, is it going to take for someone to understand it if he had went after any other race other than Chinese, he would have got less votes. Less Chinese people would have got hurt. If he would have went after black people, then black people would have opened up their eyes, especially the young black lady that came across my Instagram about Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, and he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I said, okay, well, there's only two ways that this can work for you. He literally is paying you a good amount of money. Or you just aren't aware of the racial shit that he does, or you just don't like other black people. You know, because, I mean, his main incident with black people was he would not apologize for the Central Park 5 fiasco. He refused to believe that they were innocent. He wanted a recount. He wanted a lawyer to go back and reevaluate the evidence. He wanted their money to be taken from them. He wanted to destroy these kids. Now, you think about that while you're black and how you would feel if your grandson or your niece or your nephew was accused of some shit that he didn't do, and you're voting for this guy who would rather see your grandkid dead than know the truth. Think that shit over while you're watching my video and passing judgment and giving me the finger behind the screen. Yeah, I can see you. Kidding, I can't see you, but you probably are once you're watching this video. But I will tell you this. It only takes one really bad racist apple to hit the fan. A lot of actors have lost their careers by being racist and being outed. Well, I don't have a career, so there's not much you can do if Hollywood's not giving me a shot anyway. But I can tell you this. A lot more actors have been against Trump than for Trump, and we've known that. But Trump kind of shot himself in the foot by being racist to begin with. Saying racist shit. Did y'all not watch any of his campaigns? At all? Make America great again. America was always great. We're just all racist and no one wants to admit it. Once we can do that, once we can identify the problem, it's kind of like going to an AA meeting. I'm James. I'm an alcoholic. Admitting that there's a problem is the first step that there's a problem. I'm James. I am a racist towards racist people, which I don't think that's a problem, unless you're one of those racist people that don't like me being racist towards you because you're racist. If you watch the videos I've made today, there's 5 parts about racism, and if you're not mixed, then you won't understand it. Mixed people don't have the same views on racism as other people, because we have to see all of the sides that we are mixed with. If you're black and white, you have it a little bit easier than me. If you're Native American, black and white like me, we're in a tough boat. We're in a tough boat. Well, that's just the way it is. And like I said, you're either going to like me or you're not. But I am not going to be mad if I lose followers for this video. I'm not. Because I've lost followers for other videos about Trump. I get it. You have that right. Who am I to tell you who you can't follow? I am not Jesus. If you choose to follow Trump, I'm happy for you. Again, My only question is why. I mean, did you not see the things that he said? Are you kin to this man? Even some of his own family members are not kosherly behind some of the shit that flies out of his mouth. Uh, I remember making a video when everybody started going after Barron and Tiffany Trump, his youngest two children. And I specifically said, that's not cool. Tiffany Trump is a grown woman. It is not her fault that Trump is her daddy. Stop being a bitch to Tiffany Trump. Now, I've never met Tiffany Trump. I don't give a damn about Tiffany Trump. I'm not going to discredit her because of her father. He is not the person that put her in a situation. He's just her father. She may not like her father, but that does not give me the right to condemn her for being a Trump. Same thing with Ivanka. They're both very sexy young women, but one's married, one's not, and they're both too young for me. But at that same time, a vote for their daddy is going to be a vote for their daddy, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to vote for your parent unless you don't like your parent's ideology. And even if you do like your parents' ideology, you still might vote for your parent, because some people are just that fucking loyal. Now, it's kind of like, alright, so I can hurry up and end this video. If my mom and my dad were running for president, I can almost guarantee you that I would vote for my dad. And now let me explain why. My mama has favoritism. Favoritism gets in the way. My dad has favoritism. Favoritism gets in the way. Now let me explain that, being that I am supposedly my dad's favorite. Now, I don't believe in favoritism. Both favoritism on my mom's side and my dad's side causes fucking problems. But if you treat everybody the same, no matter how many children you have, you won't have any fucking problems. You can't love one child more than the other. That is not legal, and you should not be doing something that's stupid, because that's what causes fucking problems. You give your son five daughters. If you give your son $5, you give your daughter $5. You don't give one more than the other. I have fucking family members that done that. I'm going to give my son this amount of money and give my daughter a little bit less amount of money. I've been the victim of that too, but only from my mother. When my dad passed, I spreaded his money. Now, initially when we talked, it was, I'm going to give you everything. And I was like, no, Dad, you have fucking 5 kids. You have 4 biological kids, and you have a stepdaughter. You need to, distribute the money. Okay, I'll do that, but I'm going to give you the most money. I was like, no, Dad, you got it. And we fought tooth and nail until he actually died. And then I just did what him and I had planned. It didn't work out in my favor. My stepsister's not really talking to me. I still love her, and if she sees this, I love you, Angel. School's got me busy. My phone number hasn't changed. I do have a new phone. Sadly, your number's not in it. Neither is your daughter's numbers, because this damn thing wouldn't transfer all the numbers, and I don't know how to do that because I'm dumb. But, I made sure that everybody got an equal amount of money that he put on the will for them to get. So that's just how that was, And then as for everything else, it was a big ass clusterfuck after that. But again, death also brings out true people. It brings out the truth. When people die, motherfuckers get greedy. Motherfuckers want whatever they think they're entitled to or whatever. And I'm just not that kind of guy. If you die, you die. I don't want anything from you. I want you. That's me. And then, when you look at this shit for the people who follow Trump, everybody was picking on Barron, and I made a video about that. Leave his kids out of this shit. The kids have nothing to do with that. Their dad is the president. Stay away from the kids, and that's fair. When my acting career finally achieves the achievable, if people come after me, it's fine. It's like, hey, James, we want to take pictures. Okay, let's do that. And if they're like, hey, James, we want to take pictures, but I'm filming right now, then you're going to have to wait until after I'm filming. And if nothing else is in the way of the scheduling, then I'm going to make that time to sit there and take the pictures with them. Because without them, I don't eat. I don't live in my nice home. I know that going in. But some people just don't give a fuck. No, and they don't. Which goes back to, if people are going to leave me because you're Native, you're Black, you're Asian, and I don't think that you should be getting away with supporting Trump, especially if you're Asian, because of all the shit that has happened to Asians because of the racist rhetoric, then you may need to correct yourself. You may need to ask yourself, why did I vote for this guy when my fellow Asians are being attacked because of the shit that's come out of his mouth about the Kung Flu virus and all the other shit. And if you're Asian and you're watching this and you want to leave my channel, I still got mad love and respect for you. That damn door is always open. It's YouTube. No, it's not like it's my house. But that door is always open because you'll either come back or you won't. I'm either going to cry for a day or I won't. It's not going to be something that I'm just going to like throw myself into a fucking burning rage of fire because you didn't want to stay with me because I'm not a Trump supporter. If you've been on this channel long enough to know, you know full on well, I do not support Trump. I do not really support racists willingly. If I find out some of the people I follow are racist, we're done. I mean, excuse me, let's keep the shit real. We're done. I've been the victim of racism too long in my 47 years of life to support a racist. And I will admit that I am a racist to racist people. You're either with me or you're against me. I hope that you're with me, but if you're against me, I can't get mad at you for that. I really can't. It would be fucking pointless. It would be a waste of my time and a waste of yours. It would be a waste of my energy to sit here and bitch at you because you're supporting a racist. But that's exactly what I just done. So that I don't sound like a hypocrite. I did just do that in this video. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, how long will it be before he turns the cannon on me? Keep that in mind. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. Be seeing you. Sorry.